I think a lot of people, including myself, at times get stuck in a reactive state rather than a responsive state. I believe I believe reacting to something is different than responding to something. I think reacting is like reacting without thought, or acting without thought. My bad. Um, and response and a response is acting with thought. And I believe when you get into a reactive state on a small scale, it might not have uh, a large effect. But when that small scale kind of exponentially grows, um, so let's say one individual is creating a response or is creating a reaction, and then another individual is creating a reaction, and then another individual is creating a reaction. It creates a sort of large entity of reactions toward, and then therefore someone outside of that reaction might be able to observe the group or the cultural or the societal notion that's getting a reaction, and they're going to be gradually pulled towards that reaction or towards that perspective, and there's no room for a response to be made. And a response, in my opinion, is something is seeing both sides of a perspective and then acting after that. Some people are really good at doing this fast or in quick decision, but you'll come to find people are just making it up as they go, and some people have a better way of going about it than others. Um, all it takes is confidence, I would say. Um, but of course, there's just human morals and societal morals that if you cross, you'll immediately get shunned. But that's just the nature of any sort of society or civilization. Um, I think what also is happening in our state of the world right now is when you have a reactive sort of state uh, of people or citizens that are all kind of interacting on a platform that doesn't exist, it doesn't, or that exists beyond um, pretty much time and day and night. And what I'm talking about is what I'm doing this on, this live stream on. So when you have humans in a civilization um, in a reactive state that kind of their reactive state is getting pulled towards um, this this entertainment, but this like lawlessness and timeless uh, sort of community that doesn't exist physically, but it all exists within the mental parameters of what you're consuming online and through the internet and social media and algorithms, and how you're influencing yourself or how you're even operating within uh, the the technology that we've been kind of handed. Um, and a lot of what I've come to find out is a lot of people just kind of they just go. They just keep going and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and then keep watching the same kind of things or listening to the same genre of music, or they keep saying the same words or keep saying the same things. Um, and what I've come to realize is a lot of different communities and niches are really just the same thing, but with a different sort of paint or a different color, uh, and it creates sort of and the rivalries within the different colors. It's weird, and the different territories and what they believe and what they don't believe, and uh, personally, you can get caught up in these things. Um, and what I've realized is it's okay to get caught up in these things, but it's not okay to live these things. And we've been born into a society where we're getting forced to live and experience these things that are constantly trying to get our reactions and our attention. Uh, we're all paying for things that are really just grabbing our attention, farming our attention. Uh, Social media is a free sort of thing within our, phones and computers, but we're not paying for it. And something I heard, if you aren't paying for a product, then you are the product. And so our attention that we're giving online to the videos and whatnot, in between the videos are advertisements and other different things that are constantly trying to get us to pay for more things. And there's even advertisements within certain videos now, so, podcasts and other different types of videos that help fund certain creators to do certain things across the internet, and across the world, and in many different ways, beyond thought and beyond distance. Distance is not a problem nowadays. It's just the matter of retaining a certain sort of niche, and then kind of exploiting the viewer as much as possible to keep them entertained. Um, and I think understanding what I'm kind of getting at is something that anyone can do, and it takes place within, I think, a meditative state, um, observing many different cultures and religions, experiencing many different conversations in reality, eliminating scrolling. Eliminating the constant feedback loop of information, even if it's really hard, even if it's like the most hard thing you've ever done. Or even if you keep doing it and you're just like reminding yourself every time you pick up your phone or you start consuming, go back, like, oh, return. The breath is your anchor during these times. Oh, I hate ads. I get an ad, of course. The breath is your anchor. um I think to remain in a state of constantly wanting to observe uh, others and their opinions while not being able, or while not like dying on your hill and trying to force others to believe your opinion, which I've definitely had problems with in my experience. But once you get beyond that realization, you can explore so many different conversations, and remain in your peace. You can learn to not learn. You can learn not to react. Not everything needs a reaction. Sometimes the response is nothing. Like sometimes the response you think and like, oh, this doesn't need anything. Like, no, I'm not entertaining that. I think a lot of people are just constantly reacting, and they're constantly reacting. They're constantly reacting. There's no room for nothing. You have to remain in your space, creating, writing your things and drawing and creating your songs, speaking your truth, I hope someday people watch these and they find some truth, or they find some peace within them. But in all reality, I'm no different than you, and you're no different than me. I'm just choosing to do this, and you're just choosing to do that. And that's all it comes down to in this world. That's really all it comes down to, is you're choosing to do something, and someone else is choosing to do something. You're choosing to observe while someone's choosing to act. Consume or create.